According to recent studies, feeling lonely on a regular basis can actually shorten your lifespan by 26%. But I hear ya. How can I have a social life when I'm struggling with chronic fatigue syndrome?
Okay, everybody don't panic.
Let's look into that. Now, are you wondering if you're chronically lonely?
I don't know, am I?
Some signs are that you kind of are always in a bad mood, you tend to withdraw socially, you really have a lack of trust in others, and you're often really dissatisfied in your relationships. A lot of it with having chronic illness is that we're really in this special kind of limbo where we're not healthy enough to really join in the social activities, but we're also not really sick enough to be needing special help yet. And not to mention, because of flares, we're constantly scared of overdoing it. So even if we do go out, that threat is constantly hanging over our heads that we're going to overdo it, which takes away from just a lot of the fun. So I made a couple really quick suggestions for people who are in the homebound category and people who are still able to go out some of the time category. Because really, I mean, we're really in the stages of either light, moderate, or severe chronic fatigue syndrome at any stage in our life. And what we can do in those stages differs extremely. So I'm kind of going by my experiences with this. So this is where these are coming from.
Let's go already!
So we're going to start at the beginning when I could still go out. So these are the suggestions for people that can still go out. Now, if you live with your family or a spouse, and you guys have a party or going to a family party or something, I do recommend taking separate cars. Now, the reason for taking separate cars, while it may seem not very green, is that if you need to leave early or right away, even sometimes, depending on the case, it's nice to have that option without ruining everyone else's fun time. Like, while sometimes your family might be okay with leaving, that's not 100% of the time. And you don't want to be the one always bringing everyone down. You don't want to be the party pooper.
Party pooper.
This way you're not a party pooper. When you are too poop to party, you leave. They can stay and have fun, and it's up to them when they want to leave. This is something I had to do. This is something my mom had to do, and it works really well. It is very awkward at first, but the more you do it, the more you realize it's just better for everybody. So the next thing I'd suggest for people that can still get up, move around, all that fun stuff is try and have more one-on-one friend dates. Try not to go to big parties as often as possible. Meet with just your best friends. Have them come over to your house or you go over to their house, but try and keep it one-on-one, because really we tend to get sensory issues because our bodies get so overloaded and stressed out. And a lot of that is just made worse with big parties, lots of people trying to concentrate on too many things at once, and it just will wear you out.
Partied out. All I want is to stay home and rent videos and watch them with a few friends.
So yeah, have a friend come over one-on-one, hang out with your best friend, maybe two friends at once, you know, just your closest friends, have a movie night. Do small little things like that. That is a lot easier for your brain to handle, a lot easier for you to handle, and it's just easier on you.
I think I can handle that.
And another thing I'd suggest is when you get to a party, especially if it's a family party, just let the host know that you're probably not going to be able to stay long. You don't have to give a big convoluted reason why. You can just say that, not give an explanation, and they'll usually be like, oh, that's too bad, but I'm so happy you're here. You know, if they're a nice person. And that just makes it easier, because when you do have to leave, they know you had to leave early, they know not to take offense to it, and it's just a lot simpler. But yeah, seriously though, seriously, you sorry people, don't make up a big long excuse of why you have to leave early. Just say, hey, by the way, I have to leave early, I'm so sorry, but if you see me leaving, don't take it personally. That's all you have to say. Seriously, think of it the other way around. If you had a party, someone said that to you that was there, would you be prying into their life? Would you be thinking the worst thing? No, you wouldn't. So don't expect them to think that way, okay? Cut the anxiety. Just keep it simple. You know I'm speaking from experience, right? Whenever I say this stuff, it's because I thought that. So don't take it the wrong way. And for my homebound friends that are like moi, The first thing I would suggest you homebound chronic fatigue syndrome people to do is join online support groups. This is what you need for your mental health. This is what you need to just be able to vent and vent to people that understand.
Well, in the interest of mental health.
I harp on this a lot, but there's a reason. Is because I was getting so severely depressed for the longest time. I thought I was crazy. I thought it was all in my head. And when I started finding these support groups, I finally had proof it wasn't all in my head. I finally had people to vent to that understood. I finally had people to run ideas by and see if they have tried them. And yeah, it's a lifesaver. It really, really helps. So don't put it off. It really costs you nothing. There are a few bad groups out there. They get very political. They get very judgmental. Some of them are full of know-it-alls that you'll notice in the comments. If almost all the comments are kind of know-it-all negative kind of leaning, don't be in that group. If you're in a group and you see comments on people's posts and they're all very positive and helpful or just comparing experiences, that's fine. But there are a lot of them out there that are just negative. And you know, I put out a news article today about they found a way to diagnose fibromyalgia. Pretty big stuff. Scientists in Israel found a way to diagnose fibromyalgia. Big news. Great news. And the people in the groups were, in this one group specifically, were like, oh, well, there's no one reason that people get fibromyalgia. And, oh, well, you know, I forget what the other one was. There was a couple other comments similar, but they were all very know-it-all and negative. And it's like, this is good news. They have proven a way to diagnose this. Like, that means we can get help in the future. Like, you know. Anyways, sorry to vent at you guys.
Yeah, I love it when she glitches.
Another thing I'd suggest for people who are homebound is for things like your doctor visits, psychiatrist sessions. You can even do your physical therapy this way, oddly enough. You can do it with video at home kind of Zoom visits, but it's not Zoom usually. Same thing, same difference. You can actually meet with people, and this isn't just doctor appointments. You can do this when you're chatting with people, so it's not just on the phone, so you see a face, so you see expressions. If you have a lot of friends that like to get together, see if they'll all do a Zoom chat. I mean, try it. All right, now speaking of talking on the phone, I would highly suggest to you homebound people, you're homebound because you have it a lot harder than everyone else. Because of this, I highly, highly recommend you time your conversations with people and stick to that time. What do I mean by this? And I've been doing this recently and it really, really helps. So I know I can do about 5-10 minutes of talking before my voice goes out and before the potential of a flare-up starts. So I will set a timer on my phone for 8 minutes when I start a phone call. I will warn the person I'm talking to that I have done this. Hey, I only have 8 minutes to talk, so just FYI. Keep it nice, don't be mean about it. Just, hey, FYI, I have 8 minutes to talk. And make it a regular thing. And then when the timer goes off and it's been 8 minutes, finish up your conversation and be done. Don't let it drag on too long, because long conversations, if you're bad enough, can cause flares. That's something I've been doing recently that really helps. By the way, did you remember to subscribe? Did you remember to like? If you sign up for any groups, if you could share with them, if you think it'll help, that'd be great. I would love to go viral someday. I think that would be kind of neat. And then there's other people that find ways to socialize, like through video games, because everything's online now and you can chat to people chat with people from all over the world.
Say, brain fart.
One of our watchers here, Killer Jimmy, has a really cool Roblox channel that she does. She's used that to be able to talk to people from everywhere and just socialize and have a good time with it. And it's really cool, actually. But it's really cool, and that is an option. Another thing is, I would say, write your emails, your posts, your letters, little by little. I have been trying to do more Instagram, and I find that having conversations with people is really exhausting. mentally and physically. But, and I'm sure some of my viewers will notice this, that I talk to with messages, I'll kind of write out a little bit and then go away from it, and then write a little bit more, go away from it, write a little bit more. And then when I have like a decent, like when it makes sense, I'll send it. But I do take a while to get back to people because of this. But nobody seems to care. Nobody's taken offense yet. If anything, a lot of the people I talk to are from the chronic illness community, so they completely get it. And they're actually, a lot of them have said they're actually relieved, because then they can do it too and not feel like they're being rushed. Mwah, mwah. Kiss, kissy. Mwah. Ooh. Mwah. Ooh. Now, socializing can be totally worth it, totally fun, but you really don't want to be socializing and wasting your energy on the wrong person. The wrong person will take away your energy and be a drain, as I call them, the energy vampires. The right person will actually energize you after you talk to them. They are energizing. It's a weird thing, but it's hard to tell because some people you think you're closer to may actually be energy vampires.
What? I just want to know who's who.
So you're asking me then, well, how do I figure out who's who? How do I know who's the energy vampire and who's the joy factor? Well, glad you asked. Try this video here about figuring out who's toxic and who's good for you. Thanks for watching the whole video and giving me good watch time for the algorithm, and keep on surviving.